Harmony in the Storm, Eliana's journey through music and faith. Once in a small coastal town, there lived a talented musician named Eliana. She had a voice that could calm the stormiest seas and a heart that poured into every note she played. Eliana was not just a musician, she was a worship leader at her local church, where her renditions of contemporary Christian music, especially Hillsong Still, touched many hearts. Eliana's journey with music began in her childhood, but it was not until her late 20s that she discovered her true calling. It was during a particularly turbulent phase of her life, filled with personal loss and uncertainty, that she found solace in the serene melody of Still. The song, composed by Reuben Morgan of Hillsong Worship, spoke to her in ways no other had. In the quiet of her room, Eliana would often play Still, letting its lyrics wash over her like a healing balm. She found comfort in its message of finding peace in God's presence amidst life's chaos. The words, "When the oceans rise and thunders roar, I will soar with you above the storm," became her anthem. One Sunday morning, while leading worship, Eliana decided to share this song with her congregation. As her voice echoed through the church, singing Still, there was a palpable shift in the atmosphere. The congregation, each grappling with their own storms, found a collective sense of peace and reassurance in the lyrics. After the service, an elderly man approached Eliana. His eyes were teary as he shared his story of struggle with illness and how the song had given him a sense of peace he hadn't felt in months. Eliana realized then that her music was more than a melody, it was a vessel of hope and comfort. Inspired by this experience, Eliana began to delve deeper into the background of Still. She learned about Reuben Morgan's role in Hillsong and how the group's music had impacted worship styles globally. She understood that the simplicity of the song's arrangement, the gentle piano, the soft strumming of the guitar, was intentionally designed to draw the listener into a reflective state, allowing the message to resonate more deeply. Eliana began to incorporate more of such music into her worship sessions, each song carefully chosen for its lyrical depth and spiritual significance. Her sessions became a haven for many, a place where the community could gather and find a moment of peace in their busy lives. One day, while preparing for a special worship night, Eliana decided to center the event around the theme of peace in the storm. She selected several songs, but Still was to be the centerpiece. As she rehearsed, she reflected on the biblical verse Psalm 46 verse 10, "Be still, and know that I am God." This verse had always been a source of strength for her, reminding her of the importance of finding stillness and recognizing God's presence in all situations. The night of the event, the church was filled with people from all walks of life. As Eliana led the worship, starting with more upbeat songs and gradually moving to the more contemplative ones, the atmosphere became charged with a collective sense of anticipation and need for solace. Finally, when Eliana began to sing Still, the room fell into a hushed reverence. Her voice, clear and resonant, seemed to carry each person's worries away, reminding them of the presence of a higher power even in the midst of turmoil. The verse, "Find rest my soul, in Christ alone, know his power, in quietness and trust," struck a chord with many. After the event, people lingered, not wanting to leave the sanctuary of peace they had found. Many shared how the music, particularly Still, had spoken to them, offering a reminder of faith and hope. Eliana's reputation as a worship leader grew, but for her, the greatest reward was seeing how her music could bring comfort and peace to those in need. She continued to lead worship, each session infused with the same passion and faith that had brought her to recognize her calling. Years later, Eliana looked back at her journey and realized how much she had grown, not just as a musician but as a person of faith. Through her music, she had touched many lives, bringing a message of peace and reassurance, much like the song Still had done for her. She understood that her role was not just to play music, but to be a vessel through which the message of faith, hope, and peace could be conveyed. And so, in the small coastal town, Eliana continued to sing, her voice a beacon of hope, her music a refuge for the weary, and her heart forever attuned to the still, small voice that had guided her all along.